Good morning, welcome to Natasha Makes. It is Make It Monday. What are we making today, Gemma, before you run out the room?
I'm not running out the room.
You're not running out the room?
Because the printer's making that beautiful noise again.
I know. It does.
Natasha's
like
brilliant with technology, everybody. She has very musical technology in her life. The printer makes a horrible noise. Yeah. The phone makes a horrible noise.
Yeah.
We just don't leave technology near Natasha any longer than is absolutely necessary.
Freddie and I are reading a book called Noah and the something or another. Anyway, and it's about a boy that breaks the internet.
This could be you.
Yeah, I know. And it's just a series of letters back and forth to his parents, and they say, Noah, you do know that you break technology, and I'm like, oh, not the only one then. No. Fabulous. Only no one wrote a book about me, so that's fine. Good morning. How are you? Did you have a lovely weekend? Did you? I did. A lovely weekend. What about you, Jem?
Not bad.
Not bad. I'll take that. I'll take that.
It's all right. Flew by though. Where did it go? Blink, gone.
A gin and tonic?
A little gin and tonic. I had 2 gin and tonics. I don't drink anymore. And oh dear.
Did you struggle the next day?
A little bit, yeah. You know why it felt like a short weekend though? We were on air on Friday.
Oh, of course.
We did our pay it forward.
Yeah, you're normally at home, aren't you, on a Friday? Doing, washing and stuff.
Yes.
In between all of the stuff for us.
All of the tapping.
All of the stuff everywhere. We did have a lovely pay it forward on Friday. Thank you ever so much for everybody that joined us. And oh my goodness, both of those refurbished DXs went.
They did.
That day. Good news. We will have, hopefully, a couple more when Gary comes on Wednesday. This Wednesday, Gary's here, and I know that a lot of you have got technical questions that you want to ask him. Save them all up. I spoke to him on Saturday, and he is ready and willing and just ready for you.
He is.
We might have a refurbed overlocker.
Oh, a whoosh.
A whoosh.
Oh, what's that? Oh my gosh. Well, we all want that.
We all want one of those.
Yes.
And we've got some more NXs.
Oh, how exciting.
So this is the only place to get your refurbed Dukies. And they come with a full warranty, fully refurbished, everything, and with a nice discount for you. So,
and from one who got a refurbished NX.
Oh yeah, you have got a refurbished
I've
NX.
not regretted it for a single second.
Not for a second.
It's one of those things. It's a really considered purchase. I get it, and it really is. And you do need to make sure it's what you need and what you can afford and everything else.
All of that. When you do,
I've not thought about it once since. Not once.
Do you know, that's just it, isn't it? There are those things that you buy and you get buyer's regret and you go, why did I bother? But these machines will not be that. So that's happening on Wednesday. Today, and a lot of you have had a sneak peek already. We've got these, which are the cutting mat bags. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways to make these. In terms of, if you don't want it for a cutting mat and you just want it as a normal tote, let me show you what that looks like. Take the mat out. And so with my sample one, I did it this way. And I've just boxed the bottom a little bit so that I can fit more stuff in. But today's one, I'm not going to box the bottom. I'll show you at what point you would do that.
Yeah.
But that just means that you've got something useful.
And it's all on those instructions,
It's all on their instructions. They're quite detailed, aren't they?
Yes.
They are.
They're a big boy.
Yeah, and they offer you a couple of ways to do things. Like the binding, because the binding around the top, and again, a lot of times this comes down to personal preference. I have just folded it in half, and then we'll go into detail on this. But I've also suggested another way if you want to do it a different way than you can on the instructions. Because we all bind in different ways, but then if you're new to it all and you don't know how to bind, this is the easiest way. And then there's another way if you've got more time. So this is the bag. And I just thought it's quite a nice excuse to get your cave out.
Beautiful.
Was my idea. So I've got 2 kits with mats, and then we've got various without. Now, we'll have a look at all of those. The kits with the mats, I'm limited to 5 of each.
You are.
That's all I've got.
Mm-hmm.
We have charged you cost price for the mat. We're not making a penny on those mats. You are paying what they came into us with. All right, so if you are quick enough to get one of those, good on you. Good on you. Why not? Treat yourself. And the whole bag and everything, they'll fit in your 12.5 by 6.5 inch rulers. So a really, really useful size. So my idea was, now that we're going back to workshops and things like that.
Oh, lovely, eh?
That you would be able to fit in your A2 size mat, because that's what this is. Your 18 by 12, okay? And your 12.5 by 6.5 inch ruler and your rotary cutter and any other things, bits and bobs that you want to in there. But these are your very basics to go places. And it's going to fit that in a treat. We have got some other colourways that we will be loading. Poor old Gemma, I sort of went, oh, and this is really pretty and this looks lovely together. Do you mind? And she just went, okay.
I think
She made that noise.
Yeah.
That noise.
sometimes I just think to myself, God, it's a good job we're friends. It's a good job I like you a bit. This is one of those mornings. I'm
Otherwise,
sorry,
there'd be
everybody.
sweary words everywhere.
I think so.
Right. So, what are you getting in your kit? You are getting, let me show you. Or should we say hello to everyone first? Gemma?
That would be nice.
Shall we?
Let's be polite.
Nope, that's the wrong app. Oh, now then. Now I do not.
That'd be you being brilliant with technology again.
I know, right?
Oh, so good.
Looks like I'm buying some new sunglasses on that one. No.
So my nephew once picked up his mum's iPad, you know, like you do. You throw the iPad at the child, don't you, and let them do the thing.
Let them do that thing.
And managed to buy some 70 quid Hunter wellies
Wow.
in a size that was totally incorrect for my sister-in-law. So she had to contact them and say, oh, I don't actually need
Please
these
don't.
wellies. They're not what I need.
It goes in line with the child that accidentally dialed Australia and just left it.
Oh.
Yeah. Hundreds of pounds worth of phone bill later. Good morning, Margaret. Happy
Ouch.
Monday. We'll be here until 11. Then off to watch some cricket.
Ooh.
Oh, why not? In
Marvellous.
person or on that there televisual box.
Well, yes, that's
Morning,
true.
Becky. Morning, lovely ladies. Did we all have a lovely weekend? Do you know what I did? I went and sat in a field, which doesn't sound that exciting.
No, I love sitting in a field, you know.
But there was, beer and stuff, and also lots of activities for the children, which really helps.
Great, eh?
Yeah. And everyone seemed to have brought their dogs, so the kids were happy. They found a puppy. Oh, they found a 14-week-old whippet puppy.
Gorgeous.
I've never seen a whippet puppy, have you?
Yes,
Have you?
they're just so cute.
Yeah. They're like appealing rats. It's lovely. Morning, Elizabeth. Well, they've got those long tails, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
It's just adorable.
Gemma, JCM tried to tag you on a sign on the building I was sewing in. There we go. Get Natasha
Okay.
to show you later, lovely.
Will do.
Okay. All right, Elizabeth, we'll get onto that. Morning, Karen. Morning, Myra. Dukey is my dream machine. Yes, Myra. Yes, yes, yes. One day it will be mine. Yes, yes, yes. Do you know what it was? I do that thing of having a vision board of what I want.
Okay.
The Dukies were on there. I didn't know how. When I was at Sewing Quarter, I didn't know how. I had no clue how that would ever
Going
happen.
to make it happen.
I know, right? I know. At no point did I think I would lose my job and get a Dukey. Happy days. Best thing and all. Because this happened.
Yeah, I
Not because I
know.
didn't love my job.
Then you got to work with me every day as well.
I mean,
Made
yeah.
a job where you work with your pals.
Yes.
And you get your dream machines.
Yes.
And you get to stroke all the fabrics.
We do.
And you get to use all the fabrics.
All of that. And just create the life you
I
want.
think it's really important to probably admit why you set Natasha Makes Up in the first place, which, I think was just have your own gigantic stash.
Do you know what it was? Do you know what I remember saying to Josh when I set up Natasha Makes? Because when Sewing Quarter, when the industry found out that Sewing Quarter was closing down, Hochanda, as was, bless them, I had sort of 4 or 5 messages from them saying, just come to us. But it's well over an hour's drive
Yes.
for me to get there,
Yes.
which with small children, it would mean leaving the house at 3:30 in the morning, And that was fine. And I was incredibly grateful for them for offering me a job, and I took it, so I didn't have to panic.
Yeah.
But I just thought, if with my redundancy I can buy some cameras, and sort of the universe fell into place. the cameras were going out of a media suite from a university they were upgrading, so I got them at an amazing deal. And then I found out about this piece of technology that you could, I mean, I can use this one, see, I can use it, that switched all the cameras and was like a studio in a thing. And it all just sort of fell into place. And I thought, if I can do this like once a week, that saves me an hour's drive, hour and a half's drive there, an hour and a half's drive back, and be here for the kids more, then that would be great. Little did I think it would turn into this.
You weren't going to have stock.
I wasn't going to have a stock. I wasn't going to have a warehouse. I wasn't going to have any of that. Oh, well, then COVID hit, didn't it? Yeah. Yes. So then everything had to change. Yes. Anyway, we digress. And Margaret's got to go at 11, so can we hurry things along? Yeah.
Crack on. Sorry, Margaret.
But yeah, Myra. So then Dukey came on board, and that was that. I got my Dukies. It was amazing.
Clapped your little hands and did your little happy dance.
I did. Do you know I proper did? I even remember the day when I was on the phone to that there lovely Lawrence at Franklin's Dukey, who went, "We'd love to supply you with Dukies, Natasha." And I was like, so exciting, because it felt like I was, in
the
proper
club.
Yeah. Morning Jenny, morning Barbara, morning Brenda, morning Rosalind, morning Liz, morning Judy, morning Sharon, morning Anne, morning Josephine and Sylv. Oh, hang on. Why has Jenny not been able to post her posts?
Oh, hang on.
Oh, Myra just starting a quilt
on.
group on Saturday with her friend Michelle. This would be ideal for the class. See, perfect. Grab the pattern, make it there. Morning Basil, morning Barbara, morning Vicky. I would find puppies. Elizabeth, you would sniff puppies out. Morning Lois, morning Norma, morning Nikki, morning Jean. Hi all. And then good morning Julia and Anne. Good morning to all of you fabulous people this morning. So let's have a look at these kits then, shall we? Like I say, we have got 5 of the did we call it teal or did we call it aqua in the end? Aqua. I think it's very much aqua.
Yes.
And these came about because I was rummaging through the CAFE department. I love that we have a CAFE department.
Yes.
It's a whole aisle in the warehouse because, I like that there, CAFE.
Yeah, we need some space.
That there CAFE Freshett Collective, they work for me. And I was like, right, I wanted an excuse to use some big patterns. So I found this one, which is the Cloison. Have I said that right?
Cloison.
Yep, that. And then I was like, but I kind of like it with that. And I thought my original thought for the show was to do a big medallion quilt, but then we kind of did that on Wednesday, and I thought you don't want to see that 2 weeks in a row. And then I was like, oh, hang on a minute, we've got a bit of this left. And I don't think this was even loaded, was it? The stripe? No.
It had been part of a kit before.
It had. And we hadn't been quite sure how much we'd have left. So it hadn't been loaded again. I was like, hang on. This needs to be in my life. And then the Aboriginal dot. And I just thought, look at that with the pink there. I thought, wow. I love it. So you get half metre, long quarter. So there's 1.5 meters of fabric here. Now, I know that sometimes when you buy a kit, it's really annoying when you have to add in the extra stuff. So I was like, right, we are going to do full kits here.
Yes.
Which means that you get the 1/2 metre of Styleville fix and the weirdly measured 44 inches of that there waist shaper.
Yes.
And you get the mat. That is what will be coming to you. The whole shebang. So you're going to get a new cutting mat. You're going to get your Styleville, you're going to get everything that you need there. Just add thread, basically. So that's what we're doing for you this morning. That is one. We have
thread and instructions.
Thread and instructions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do need to get your instructions.
Yeah.
Or just get it.
But you don't need it with every kit because, you might want to do more than one of these.
Well, they're great gifts, right?
Yes.
Great gifts. Now, the reason I'm going to demo this one today, this is your pink cutting mat. So I went, right, I clearly now need some pink KFC fabrics. For those of you wondering why it's there's no chicken involved, it's the K-Facet Collective.
I still think of chicken every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Do you know what? I can't actually remember the last time. I was trying to think about this, that I'd had a KFC.
Yeah, it was when I took Meg to university tours in Wales. It's more expensive in Wales.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I think someone once told me that the reason that it was KFC and not Kentucky Fried Chicken was because it was so far removed from chicken. That I was like, I'm not touching that ever again. I have no idea if that's true or not.
No,
but just the mere thought of it made me never want to touch it again.
I think the highlight of our fabric arriving KFC connections was when Kaif launched the onion rings fabric.
Yes, yes.
And I was loading
KFC onion rings.
I was loading KFC onion rings, getting very confused and quite hungry.
Quite hungry. Yeah, right. So here's the thing. I wanted big bold prints inside and out. And the reason I'm going to demo this one today is because if you are using one that is directional, and I kind of feel like this is directional, I'm just going to show you how to do that bit. But then, Gem, I did have to pull this because I wanted that just to trim everything. But I also love this. Yay!
Oh, jumbo yellow.
So these together with your cutting mat, all the fun, right? If you're a pinky girl like me, I might have chosen my two favourite colours though, pink and aqua.
Jumbo yellow's a beauty though, right?
I love jumbo yellow, and I still don't know why it's called jumbo yellow because it's
zing.
It does.
It makes me think of
go on.
Fruit those fruit salad sweets. Remember fruit salads?
Yes.
There's blackjacks and fruit salads, wasn't there?
Do I remember? I ran the tuck shop at school.
You ran the tuck shop.
Do I remember?
You ate them all.
I ate them all. Yeah. So that's what the outside of this is going to look like, you see. A bit like that. And then the inside is going to be like that. So I thought that was rather lovely. You might just want to get these fabrics. I would completely understand and concur.
Yeah.
But then you get the cutting mat as well.
Metre and a half of Kaif in there.
The thing is, right, you're getting this on a discount. So even if you don't want to make this, you're going to have this and this in your... It's a great stash booster.
It really is.
Really is. Truly is. I've just arranged that beautifully on top of the mat and then realised that now I need to display the mat again. Right. If, again, you are after fabrics, whether you want to make more of these or not, it's entirely up to you. But I know that some of you will be like, oh, Natasha, they're not really my colours. It's all right. What about these? For those of you that like... Now, you can pick whichever one you want for the outside here. Have we put these on a lovely, lovely discount?
Yes, I am just about to press the button at bare and width. So these should come out, these kits, at $32.99.
Amazing. Now that is with your Styleville Fix and your Way Shaper and 1.5 meters of KFC fabrics. You've got your beautiful stripe in this. How gorgeous is this going to look? And then with the spot. Stripes, spots, swirls and florals. I mean, it's everything. It's everything you could possibly want. Oh, yeah.
I know. It's a beauty, isn't
writing
it?
me something.
No, I'm just making notes.
Are you making notes?
I'm doing
Oh,
the
Vicky
maths.
says dilemmas
I'm
now
doing
this
the
morning. I was
maths.
going to go for one of the great value kits and get a smaller mat for craft club trips, but I want one of the other colourways. Do I get pink or do I go for the dark one and buy a separate mat from you? Sometimes difficult for a Monday. Right.
Bonus stuff. Is that Vicky? Our Vicky.
It's our Vicky. Right,
Vicky. Our
Vicky.
Vicky. Actually the grey colourway matches her scissor keep that I made her. The
Oh, there you go.
The Brassica white.
So yeah, if you want to go for this one, Vicky, I did find just before we went to air a grey cutting mat that would look really lovely in that.
Yeah.
Just saying. And if anybody else wants that, we would honour that discount, wouldn't we? If you've bought that kit.
Yeah.
Then
we'll
just pop in a note and we'll see if we can actually get them. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be horribly complicated.
Really horribly complicated.
Yeah. And I know that Gemma's going, why don't you just buy the cutting mat? It wasn't in stock.
No.
I couldn't find it. I found it this morning and went, what? Hang on. What's
Well,
going
we just
on
need
here?
to check as well what price we can get those ones in at. They might be a slightly different price
They
to the
are
others.
a little bit more expensive,
so
if I'm
we'll
honest.
have to see.
But we'll see what we
But yeah,
can do.
if anyone's buying the grey colourway and they want the grey mat, let us know. We will see what the cost price is on that and we will message you back.
And if you want a green that would go with that one, do you know what, Gemma? Why don't we just buy some of the other colourways and put them on the website? We'll do that.
We'll check the stock. We'll check the stock later.
Let us know. Let us know what you like.
Yep.
And we can sort this out. So Vicky, this is your just to add to your dilemma, right? This is what we were thinking to go with the grey cutting mats that I found this morning, that obviously I haven't had a chance to actually buy and aren't clearly here yet. Just this is why Gemma goes, oh, for the love of God, woman, can you see I'm a pain? I'm a right pain to work with.
I'm not denying any of this.
No.
I love you.
Yeah.
But you frustrate me.
Yeah, everyone.
Intensely.
Let me see, that's been on there. Love you too.
I know. There's so much love and yet so much frustration. It's like a marriage.
I know, right? Ah, there we go. I am rather loving the stripe. And again, the spot. But, you see, you could do it the other way. If you wanted to have your spot for that and then bind in your stripe, you can. These are just serving suggestions. So you could have...
Such a gorgeous combination of colours.
If you want it to go around that way, for those of you that go, well, yeah. Morning, that there, Sarah Payne. How are you, my lovely?
There's a lot of love for this make today, Tash.
Do you know what? It's one of those things that popping these kind of colours together, you wouldn't manage it on a screen. We carry so much cake, and some of this wasn't even loaded, so you'd have no chance at all. I also realise that's, more problematic for people when it's not even loaded for you to buy.
Quite.
So,
nothing to do with Natasha saying, oh, I love this, and then just secretly putting it in the warehouse and forgetting it's there. And
I love the spot.
We do have questions about the pattern. The pattern is up in printed format. It's there. The digital will go up very soon. I've just got to print a final copy and check it's all displaying correctly.
Right.
And that it's loaded up correctly.
Last one for you. It's just a slightly different way to get things done for that. Look at this.
Yeah.
So this is Charlotte. This is the latest florally one. But how beautifully do these go together? Doesn't it suddenly pull all the oranges from there?
She is. Pals with
She's,
Dorothy.
Yeah.
She's a friend of Dorothy's.
Charlotte and Dorothy. What a couple of gals. Here we go. Now, and then I found this, right, which just pulled all the oranges and the purple. I was like, yes. And then I needed some binding. So, yes. So, if earthy oranges are your thing, this might be the one for you. I reckon, Jen, we could find some green cutting mats somewhere that would work with that.
No, I think we're going to be doing some shopping, aren't we?
We're going to be doing some shopping, yeah. Soz about
But
that.
yeah, anyone who's buying a kit that comes without a mat,
if you'd like to upgrade and have a mat,
just pop it in the note.
Yeah.
And we will see that, and we will attempt to source some mats for you. And then if we can, I'll pop you a little message across, or I'll give you a call if you've got your phone number on your profile. Yeah, pop your phone number on your account. I will always call you. That's the thing. I've phoned people a few times now, and they've gone, oh, what? Is it you, Gemma?
Is it you, Gemma?
I always prefer to make a call if I can rather than email, because I can get an instant answer. So I know I'm one of those people who doesn't like to put her phone number on companies' profiles on.
Well, in case they actually send you
spammy stuff,
texty, spammy rubbish.
We don't do that.
No, we don't.
Just have the number
because we hate it.
Because if we have a dropship item, for example, so if you did buy a Juki machine, then of course we can pass that across to Juki, and then they can let you know when it's on the way. But they always want to have. But the main reason we will ever use your phone number, and it really is a rare thing, is if we need to give you a quick call to say, I don't know, some fabrics come up a smidgy bit short, or this or that, or ask you a question about your order. So if you're happy to have your phone number on there, it's not getting sold to a load of people for general marketing purposes.
No, because that's hideous.
Do that.
No.
But yeah, if you do want a cutting mat, pop a note on your order to say.
And we'll see what, dreams we can make come true.
If we can find them, I'll give you a call. I'll let you know what the price difference is, and if you're happy, we'll invoice you for the difference.
Hurrah.
So. All right.
Should we make it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? You're probably wondering, so, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get frustrated when I get a pattern and I have to buy either so much more interfacing than I actually need, or I don't have the interfacing. So part of my remit for this kit was like, right, what can I make with exactly half a metre of Styleville? Honestly, this is the sort of stuff that goes through my head. If it were me buying a kit, right, and if I, because we sell Starville by the meter, so you can buy a meter and then you can make 2 out of this. So that's fine. You might have made use when we've had the Starville offers on, then that's great. Do that. But this kit will come with that half meter. And the other thing that I really hate about Starville?
Go on.
Sometimes it's having to cut it.
Oh.
So do you know what I did with this?
What did you do?
When you get your half metre of Starville, that's it. That's it. We're just going to use it like this.
Great.
Right? Honestly, I am the laziest person I know.
In the weirdest possible way, because you achieve more than anyone else I've ever met in a 24-hour period. But you like to just get it done with as little faff and ceremony as possible.
Oh, I don't like faff and ceremony.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, no, I just don't.
No messing.
Don't do it.
No messing.
So that meant that with your half metre of your beautiful fabric that you want, you are just going to trim it down. Instead of 44 inches, you're going to trim it down to all those things in that there book. Oh, you might just have to trim a smidge off the end of your thingamajiggy. Or maybe it's because I've got...
So articulate on a Monday morning. For those who've not joined us before, Natasha is obviously far more articulate during the remainder of the week. Honest governor.
Would we say that? Would we say that?
All right. Moderately more articulate, but a Monday morning...
You're only going to have to trim a squiddly bit off. Okay. So you can now adhere this onto here. I have the words, Jem. They're just not always in the right order.
And I'm not always a great deal of help on that front.
No.
I'm normally
I was quite
fibro-braining.
starstruck when Gary phoned. Love Gary. We love Gary. I was quite surprised. Like, Gary, why are you ringing me on a Saturday? What's the matter with you? And he's like, well, we've got a show next week. It's like, no, but that's like really organised. Are you all right? He's like, yeah, I've just come back off holiday. He said, so I'm really keen to get my shows in whilst I've got a tan.
Marvellous.
I love the honesty. All right there, Gary. We can do that. Now, steam. Apply your steam. Why, Gemma?
Does it activate the adhesive?
It doesn't activate it.
Go on,
it
then.
will be activated by heat alone, but you know that when steam is involved, it kind of increases the heat, doesn't it?
Nice.
So it just allows the glue flow to flow a little bit better. So almost
Hot, 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 hot.
There we go.
Oh,
The closer I come to
Myra's
the
giving
sauna.
out life advice.
Oh, good.
She says,
Like a bit of
and the
life
rule
advice.
is no housework on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. Get yourself a brew and join us. Because Anne's doing the ironing whilst watching us.
Anne, what do you do? Should we get all the steamy bits out of the way? Now. Right. So, the other thing is, right, this, you can decide, obviously it's your kit, which way round you want your fabrics to go. I am just going to adhere this. This is your waist shaper. All right. And we use this for our bags, not for our waists, for our bags, which is fabulous.
I'd love it if it could shape my waist.
Oh, do you know what? I used to have a shape.
I have a shape, it's just not the same shape. And yesterday we had
Joy of
rhubarb
children.
pie and custard for pudding. Oh, you're not a rhubarb fan, are you?
Hate rhubarb.
I love it.
Hate it with an absolute, unless it's rhubarb and custard sweets that bears absolutely no resemblance to any kind of rhubarb that grows in my garden. And we grow rhubarb like it's going out of fashion.
Oh, I see I rhubarb gin all over the place as well. I'll have all the rhubarb, please.
My mum,
Vic
I
provides
blame
me
my
with
mum.
rhubarb too.
Poor mum. Sorry, mum. She's unpacking at the moment because they've just moved house.
Aww.
So I very
Happy
much
new
doubt
house.
that mother will be watching. But Sue, I glanced at that and I didn't think it said shapeshifter. I had to glance again. I was like, what? Oh no, shapeshifter, that's fine.
Oh no. Okay, good.
And yeah, so can't remember where I was going with my mother comment. What was I talking about, Jen?
Rhubarb.
Oh, rhubarb. Yeah, no, she used to make rhubarb fool.
Oh.
And she used to also make gooseberry fool. They were not my favourites.
I don't think I've ever eaten a fool.
No. I've worked with a few. Never eaten one.
A few.
Married one. No! Trevor?
I've never eaten one.
Never eaten one?
No.
Done lots of other things with food.
Behave. Good Lord, this is why we're not on proper telly, you know. There's so much trouble.
Wouldn't be allowed.
We'd be off air. Bam, gone.
I know.
Go, be gone with you both. Oh dear.
So with the waist shaper, can you see me trying to make this professional now, Jim? You haven't heard it?
I'm muttling in the corner.
I know. Right there, Muttley. It's normally me muttling.
Yes, I know.
We do a good line in Muttley.
I do, and I hadn't realised until I was about to go live on air with Jane the once, and literally just before we went to air, I heard myself on the sound check, and it was a proper Muttley. And I couldn't get myself together. I had to admit.
I mean, this is
everybody.
it. Yeah. So Vicky's just said, "Love a fool," and again, Vicky.
You have.
We've both made that mistake.
We've done this.
We've
all done this.
We've all loved a fool.
Oh, heck.
Although of the raspberry and not raspberry, gooseberry and rhubarb variety, not so much. I'm going to be honest.
I feel like I need to sample the fool. I need to speak to your mother.
Do you know what it is? It's just that, like, Mum would always try and make it healthy and not put in enough sugar.
Oh,
so it was a bit.
No, if it's too tart, that's
yeah, well,
no
she
good.
likes tart stuff. Not say Mum's tart. She likes tart stuff. Again, Mum's not watching.
I'm so glad she's not watching. We would be in
not
all
going well,
the trouble this morning.
She told me off for criticising her cottage cheese and walnut flan on air.
Did she?
Yeah.
We would be in so much trouble today. You've got to really hope she's busy unpacking.
I know. I love you, Mum.
Yeah, sorry, Mum.
Loads
Sorry,
of
Mum.
great qualities.
Sorry. My mum's not watching, she's in the hospital. My dad's busy regaling everyone in the waiting room with the story of how he's done his backing, taking his socks off on the beach.
I mean, if a footballer can do his backing through pulling a plug out of the bath, I'm sure your dad can do it taking his socks off on the beach.
In Wales.
What was he doing wearing socks on the... I mean, that is a schoolboy error.
They went down to the beach and he decided the shoes and socks were coming off.
Right.
So he went to pull the sock off and, yeah.
Do you know what? You want to get him a good pair of Crocs. Because then they just wash out.
No.
I know, but there's a time and a place. My children will be raised mainly in Crocs because they go in way too much water.
I have Alice Crocs, which are a Mary Jane style, and you could only get them in America. And I bought them in 3 colours when I found them online years ago. And they're brilliant when we go camping and stuff.
It's perfect.
Amazing. You can wade through mud.
Like yeah.
I use them for gardening.
I'm just sewing 1/8 of an inch, by the way, down either side of this. And then that's your handles done. Just so as you know. No faff sewing, Jem.
Nope, no faff sewing.
No faff sewing. Do you know what? I wonder if I revisited these foods as an adult, if they would be nice.
Maybe.
Because I never used to like toad in the hole, but I like it now. I think because my mum used to make with vegetarian sausages, and I'm not about the vegetarian sausage.
Oh, I feel there were a few faux pas in your mother's cooking. A vegetarian sausage is never going to be right in a toad in the hole.
Yeah, well, she's vegetarian.
But you need that fattiness to it. Yeah,
but she's vegetarian. So there was only one way that toad in the hole was going to go. Isn't it? Yeah. Right, I'm going to trim off those selvages. We have put the full 44 inches so that you can just do that. And then you can just do that. And then if you want to know how long it needs to be, you just do that and fold it in half and cut it. And that's your handles made. Jen, we're not going to mess around with these.
No messing.
That's it, made, done. Boom. Boom, 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 done. It's all said with love. My mother's cooking, by the way.
Yeah.
She does the most amazing hot Sussex smoky.
I have no idea what that is.
It came out of a recipe book from a place that there used to be down in Sussex where we lived, and it's basically like a smoked fish kedgeree.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's amazing.
I can't have anything smoked. I'm honestly smoked bacon, smoked anything. No.
Really, not for you.
No.
What about a little cigar?
Cigar, perhaps not. Hey, seriously though, someone smoked a cigarette the other day in front of me. I went, and I said the Francis.
Did you?
Ridiculous. I don't smoke.
Shimmer.
I just had a moment where I went, ooh,
Did you?
yes, lovely. No, not lovely. Dear me, isn't it funny? So funny.
I've trimmed this back to 20 inches exactly. We try and cut 20 inches there or thereabouts. Always works for us. Now. Because this is basically directional, sort of, ish, if you want it to be.
What? Oh, Myra says, behave yourself, ladies. It's only Monday. And Auntie Lizzie says, they are behaving badly. Margaret says, no chance. And Sue's on our team.
Come on, Sue.
She says, I entertained John Barnes, who was sat opposite us on the train. When talking to my hubby, I sniggered as I went past a flange company. I was telling hubby about our conversations on Facebook and how many times we came close to being in Facebook jail.
Oh, yes.
Only to look back and John was sniggering as well.
Yes.
So he knows about Natasha Makes and our love of the flange. John Barnes, that there John Barnes knows about this. Excellent.
I love that we are spreading the word.
I know.
If you have a directional fabric, ladies, then you're going to cut it in a different way with the direct. You see, because like your beautiful brassica doesn't matter. You can brassica it all over the shop, nobody minds. But otherwise you're going to cut it so your 20 inches go that away, and then your that there direction, you're going to add on 1/4 of an inch to the half amount that it would be. Does that make sense? So there's the total length, halve it, and add 1/4 of an inch onto each bit of it, so that you can basically cut it, sew it back together, and you'll be good. All right. You still get big chunks left, by the way.
We love some chunky.
I know. But you see, my thought on this was, if you wanted to save like your one of your strips, you could do your handles out of that.
Nice.
Or that.
Nice.
Or bind, or whatever. It's up to you. And that, by the way, is a big chunky bit. I just couldn't be bothered to.
I need to measure that.
Do it in
see.
one.
Oh.
It's quite
I
long.
always look to see what you could make with the scrappers, whether you could.
Well, I mean, that's the sort of thing, isn't it? That's the sort of thing that you could, if you were doing this as a tote, just for general shenanigating days out, then you've got enough to do glasses, cases, anything like that, little wallets, anything like that.
Gorgeous.
Now, so this is going to be, oh, hang on. So basically, if you've got something that you want to be in a certain direction, cut it into 2 pieces. And again, you've got your instructions for this, because when that is sewn together, I need it to be like that. Yeah?
Lovely.
So I'll put it right sides together, where it needs to be, like that, so that when it's opened out, it's going to look like that. But when it's on the inside of your bag, so that when you open your bag, they're all going the right way. It's only because, for me, they look like peacock heads. And so I'd quite like them to stay as peacocks. Doesn't really matter otherwise. So you basically just sew them back together down the middle. So you can use, and this is a little bit like we did with the Pay It Forward on Friday, where we went, okay, it's not a non-directional fabric, so we will have to now make the direction go the right way. Or just always look at the bag sideways. Choice is yours. So, then. Just sew it. Just sew it, Gemma. And you'll be fine. And you know what? Because this is going to be a drop-in lining, do you know the other thing that we could actually do, if I'm thinking about it? We could just sew down those sides as well.
Lovely.
Controversial, but while we're here, we may as well do the lining.
Karen's with us. She says, "Oh nuts! My Tula pink has just landed."
Ah!
She's supposed to be restocking after the show on the weekend, but now she's distracted by said Tula.
They were incredibly popular. In fact, we've
Really
had to do a few more half-meter heavens because you know that's the
Yes.
best value way to buy. If you don't mind it being pre-cut in a half-meter, which I know Karen makes more than I do. She's far more prolific than I am. But yeah, she can whip up a dress just by winking at it.
Those half-meter heavens, the Tula pink ones, they did sell out in like
Record
milliseconds.
time.
So I have restocked.
Yeah.
I should tag them in today's collection for you, actually.
So the other thing then, just to bear in mind, is that we do sell them by incrementally by the half meter, so that if you did want a larger amount, because like Karen, she likes dressmake, if you did want to do that, then we totally understand, and that's absolutely fine, and crack on.
But some of these bolts are getting low, you know. They
really
are. This is brand new, this Tula.
We haven't put it anywhere else, have we?
No.
Now, we're going to mark this, okay? We've sewn down both sides. I haven't had to leave a turning through gap because, you know, it's a drop-in lining, Jem. Got rid of any of that need.
Good-o.
I know, right? Get me? So you're going to mark off as per the instructions and then just whip that corner off. Done. So mark it. Dink. We got there Claire Angelina with us this morning. She's very quiet.
She's very quiet if she's around.
She
I've not seen. I'm sure she'll soon pop up in the comments if she is.
Yeah.
But we've not seen her yet.
Well, it's just that I've mispronounced some French.
Oh.
And normally that would
She'd pop in and let us know.
get her here.
Yeah, yeah.
She is our lingual expert.
Yeah,
Linguistic expert. That's
yeah.
the one. So that is now your lining, ready to just, you know, drop in. Loving it. This isn't a difficult make, Jem.
Do you know, I really love this. And it's not, for me, it's not just about being able to take your cutting mat out and about with you. How many people just need somewhere to store their cutting mat where it's not going to warp out of shape, etc.
That's the thing, isn't it? Or just to protect it.
It's in your little bag, it's protecting it.
I'm just going to whip off that little edge bit there. And then we're done.
I actually tagged the nesting storage boxes in today as well, because being able to do both, you've got all your storage sorted, haven't you, in your crafting space then?
Well, yeah,
which is
you can just buy the Starville. Well, if you buy the pack, you're just going to have the waist shaper, which is effectively for free with the discount that we put on anyway. Right, here is the thing. Binding, right? Different ways to do binding. When we come to bind around the edges, you can either, I've got two lots here, you can either fold it in half and press it, and then we'll sew around, and then you can flip it over and stitch it down the other side, and that looks really neat. Or, and we're going to do this on the on these, or you can do your binding so that, and these are just 2-inch strips, so that you fold it in half and then you fold those edges into the middle, those raw edges into the middle, and then repress it in half like that. And that just means there's no raw edges and it's super, super quick and easy to do. So I'm going to save that bit for later. Now this is my central bit, right? I'm just going to trim off that there selvages. Get rid of those. And then where that halfway mark is, Jim. Now I'm going to leave it. Whew, I nearly chopped it. I don't need to because this is going to go across the middle here. Now I know that is overlapping. I do completely know that, and that's absolutely fine, because if you are doing a pocket for this, I want that one to be in the middle and nice and snug.
Nice.
Which then means a little bit, if you then arrange those edges on there, and I'll show you this all in a minute, it just gives you pockets there that are going to just have a little bit of roominess so that you can stuff your what's it in it. I'm all about the
stuffing your what's it.
Yeah. Love to stuff me what's it. So let's have a look at what we need to do. First things first, and again, trying to keep this super simple, which is why the fabrics that I've chosen are non-directional for this. So give it a press. You do not have to do anything else with this because now it's lined as well, Gemma.
Beautiful. It's like you've thought of everything.
I mean, up here for thinking, down there for dancing, right? Occasionally it even works. No one said I was a good dancer. Just to clarify, right? Where are my scissors? Don't know. Let's just chop off that selvage. Okay, so I'm going to bind top and bottom. And you might be thinking, like, what is she on? But this pocket is going to go all the way underneath. All right. So just in case, those edges there. And again, step-by-step photos on our instructions always, Gem. Why?
Because we like to be as thorough as possible.
Because everybody learns differently.
Of course they do.
Oh, morning, Donna.
Want to cover our visual learners off and everything.
Right. So, folding that over, just making sure all those raw edges are nicely encased. Oh, morning, Sharon. She's going to head across to YouTube.
Could you just scrap us to make a little hexy needle keep, couldn't you? To matchy.
Oh, the hexy needle keeps. We haven't done those for so long.
No.
But again, they're another nice little one, aren't they, to do?
That and the scissor keep, just gorgeous gifts as well.
And made in seconds.
Yeah. And from your leftover bits.
Yeah. So, spin it around and then encase and pin the other side, which means that you now have, gosh, listen to that weather. It's biblical out there.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I'm so glad it didn't do this yesterday at the fun day that we took the kids to.
Yeah, quite. I'm so glad I was having a drink of coffee and we both didn't say biblical weather at the same time. So when you heard me on the sound check this morning, I went, oh, I thought that was me for a minute.
You did sound like me. You did sound like me. I was like, oh.
It throws a couple of our suppliers, doesn't it? When one of us phones them.
Throws me.
They always think it's you.
When we sound like me.
I don't think I do.
It was just that moment.
Every now and again, I throw something in there.
But it's only because we spend so much time together, we kind of use the same wording as well on stuff.
Yes, true. We've got some great ideas here. So Sylv's saying you could put a little pocket on the inside for anything you want to keep flat next to the cutting mat.
Absolutely.
Jenny's saying from the offcuts you could make a matching pouch to carry a small iron. Yay. And then carry a pressing mat in with the cutting mat.
And now this is what I just wanted to show you, is that you do get lots of offcuts. Not of the style bill, obviously, because, you know, that was all part of the plan. But, yeah, everything else, absolutely.
We do have... Let me just double check actually before I open my mouth and then make everyone excited. And no, we do. I found in the warehouse a very small number, and it really is the very last now, of these small cutting mats, pressing mats that are just fantastic for when you do workshops, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
The little wall pressing. I mean, it's a good size.
Are they loaded? Oh, by the way, I've just changed my seam allowance here. I've just moved it over so that I'm closer to the edge here.
I am just tagging them now and putting them in the right place in the collection so that they can be found, because they would be absolutely perfect.
We had those made specifically for Natasha Makes. The felt that is used on them is used on the underside of the Queen's Guards uniforms, and these are the sort of felt pressing mats that are used on Savile Row, and they will be handed down from master to apprentice. So they they just last. You can mould them over your hams, all that kind of stuff. And whenever I go to Create and Craft, I always take it with me, and then I don't have to, because their ironing board is a really, really cheap, horrible, nasty one. Bless them.
The press you get with these is lovely.
Yeah, because, well, that's just it. I mean, it's probably just a normal ironing board, truth be known, but it just feels horrible given what we're now used to, because,
These pressing mats, you get such a crisp press, it's brilliant.
So that is my pocket done, pretty much. I've bound it top and bottom, and now we're just going to put it in the middle. That's it, Jem. Just in the middle. In the middle. Which I now need to work out where that is. Obviously, because I haven't got my big cutting mat with me today. That's in the back of the car. Don't you know? Really handy. Let me just measure this. That's my 24.
Well, know what else could go in here that's been flying out at a rate of knots? I think everyone's restocking at the moment. Is the flatter.
Oh, that would look amazing in this.
In there. Yeah.
We should have done a little bundle to go with this, shouldn't we? I've marked halfway across here. All right. I'm going to do the very technical thing of folding this in half and pressing it to find the middle of this. If you want to, of course, you could, actually get a pen out and do that. But then where those halfway marks are there, I'm just going to line that up there. If you want to base down the edges here, you can. Oh yeah, do you know we are getting to the edge of the end of the flatter as well. We bought such a huge stock of that.
We did.
Because again, it came from America, and it was at a time when we were struggling to get stuff in from America. So it was just like, right, if we know that we've actually got a source of it and we've got it here, and that's why we've been able to bring it to you at such a great price. We've done so many deals on that flatter.
We have.
Now.
And we just wanted everyone to try it as well.
Well,
and,
yeah, because we had quite a few people say they couldn't use other ones because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. So
it's like, okay, well, let's bring you something that might not catch in your throat or whatever it was, if you have asthma or anything like that. These things are important. Now, you can choose where you want these things to go. Let me find that middle point there is there. And then if I want that to go there in the middle there, then what I'm going to do is just pop that in there like so. And I'm going to find a marker. I think that's that's permanent. Don't want to be permanently marking stuff, Gemma.
No.
What one's this one?
Let's say good morning.
Erasing.
Say good morning to our YouTubers
morning,
as well, guys.
YouTubers.
You're not forgotten.
Never forgotten. Always loved. Never forgotten.
Always.
Now, you don't have to do pockets both sides. And I'm just going to leave a little gap. So just to, slotting gap. But I am just going to mark that on there. Oh, this is the pen that lovely Cleaner Penny wrote her invoice on. And I just had a blank invoice slip on my desk and go, what is this? Yeah, don't write your invoices with that.
With air erasable pen, no. That doesn't
work
work
too well. It's not massively helpful. Not if you want anything paying, that's for sure. Luckily, it's only Penny that does the invoices on those particular slips. So I was like, I didn't know who it was. That'll teach her to grab a pen off my desk. Now, so I'm just holding it. I'm going to sew down there. And then that's going to give me my pocket for my mat. If you want to do these different sizes, different shapes, do you know what? It's up to you, isn't it? You can absolutely do that.
Customizable.
I'm going to I'm going to keep my needle in the middle so that I know that I'm going right on that mark.
Just look at how impactful that brassica is. It's just amazing, isn't it? I love a big bold print.
I start slightly off the end of the binding and go backwards and forwards, just because that is it's a point of stress. I was going to say weakness, but we have no weakness here, do we, Jen?
In fact, talking of YouTubers, as I did a moment ago, Diane says, with the leftover material that
What's she going to make? What's she going to make?
She said you could make a pouch for the rotary cutter.
Nice.
I quite like that as well.
Do you know what? That's a make we've never done, a rotary cutter pouch.
It isn't.
We haven't, have we?
Like a tool pouch. Amazing.
Do it. I do have an idea for that, though, which harks back to my lace making days. And I must make that come true, Jen.
John's with us, bless him.
Morning, John. He's got the COVID.
He has, bless him.
him.
He says, I'm a terrible patient, but not too bad.
I can imagine that you are not great.
I feel really sorry for John, because he's done so well to avoid it all this time. Probably a little bit more sorry for Andrew than John, though.
I know.
Said with love, John, said with love.
But this is the moment. I did say to John yesterday, I said, this is the moment where you will find out just how well you looked after Andrew.
You really will.
Again, said with love. Now, here we go. So with those in place, if you want to do any more pockets, by the way, do them now. Otherwise, if you want to baste down the sides, then you can do that. But otherwise, now, I am going to just put in just a, that little bit of a pleat here. Just there. I'm not going to do it this end. Why not, Gemma?
Why not? Why not?
Because that's going to be sewn.
Lovely.
And otherwise you've got to faff about making it 1/4 of an inch and and invariably you'll end up sewing it in and then cursing. So let's just not worry about that.
No.
Let's just make it so that there is ample this end. All good. Thank you very much. And we'll all be happy. All right. What I'm doing when I'm putting in the pleat is just making sure that it doesn't go past that sewn line. There.
You're being asked as
and
well.
Then I'm just going to sew all the way along there.
Do you ever just sit and sew anymore, Natasha?
Do you know, I nearly did last night. I nearly did, because I've got some binding on a quilt to do that I made for the boyfriend, and it just needs sewing on. But then Glastonbury was on, and I had a gin and tonic, so I danced in the sitting room instead.
Marvellous.
Just by myself, have a lovely time.
Gorgeous.
So, no. Do I? I have lots of ideas of things that I want to sit and sew. Do you know what? Yes, actually I do. But I do try and incorporate them in a show.
I know when you sew the most, and that's when we have an EPP project on the show.
Oh yeah.
And you love it. You'll take it with you, and
no, I will.
Normally go somewhere where the children can run around, and you sit and stitch, don't you?
Yeah, or when we've if I have gone on holiday with my parents or something like that. Because then we don't really do anything in the evenings because the kids are in bed. Okay. Do I? I probably should sew more for myself. No, actually, do you know what I did make for myself the other day?
What do you make? What do you make? Oh yes. Oh yes.
I might have treated myself to a sneaky bolster cushion. Yeah, with a bit of flange. And look how I did on the ends.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's what I did for myself the other day for my new bedroom.
I'm sorry, was that a flanged piping?
Yeah, obviously. I'm just going to
love some flanged
base
piping.
down. So I know, I thought you'd be pleased. I am just going to base down there because I just want it to hold. So when I based, I'm going in at like 1/8 of an inch. You can increase your stitch length should you wish, but I can't really bother.
I mean, there it is. That's the brand of unique honesty that I look for in a friend.
Well, I can't bother. Do you know what it is, Jem? I think we all know that I will just forget to put it back to the normal stitch length.
Okay.
And sew everything else at an increased stitch length, which is possibly not my best move ever. I do get berated for my unique brand of honesty sometimes.
Yeah.
Generally by you, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you know what
I mean, that it's only really surpassed by Inga's unique brand of honesty.
She's got great brand of...
Especially her Monday morning unique brand of honesty, which is a whole new level of spectacular.
I love Inga's honesty.
Me too.
But you know where you are.
You do.
That's it. You know exactly where you are.
Absolutely do.
As does the workman who was making quite a lot of noise.
Just outside her window first thing this morning.
I've got to tell everyone the story, right?
She's
all
a fearsome thing to behold today, isn't she? I'm sure she can hear us and is smirking to herself, or perhaps frowning.
We're having all our windows sanded and repainted so we look nice and smart from the outside.
Very nice.
And the workman was meant to come on Saturday. Now, his sander is very loud. I don't know why I'm whispering that, but it's really, really loud. Which meant that he can't do the windows in the studio. Like, that's just a... So, of course, he's gone round to Inga's window. So he's very loudly sanding outside Inga's window, which means that she can't hear anything that we're saying. And
he was supposed to do said sanding.
He was meant to be here Saturday. So that because they know that we do this live on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So he was meant to. And that was what upset Inga. I said, but Inga, his car broke down on a Saturday. And he managed to get it fixed on a Saturday by 7 o'clock on a Monday morning. A bit fishy to me. Really loudly within the other side of the window. So, you know, and you're like, oh no.
I think it's one of those get back in your box days, isn't it? I reserve the words get back in your box, but actually most of the time for you.
For me, yeah, I know it is. Back in your box, Tash.
Sometimes other people are told to get back in their box, and it might just be today.
It was quite funny though. You've got to admit,
she's an absolute card.
It was quite funny because she does have a point, and I was giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
And she's like, "No, who manages to get their car fixed on a Saturday before 7 o'clock on a Monday?
Yeah.
No." At which point I giggled very much to myself. Hey, did we put the rest of the Starville fixed by the meter on a little deal for people today? Did we?
Yes.
Oh, great stuff. Again,
cheeky
like
discount.
we did, with the other bits. You can. By the way, do you know what? You can fold this in half now because you are going to stitch down it. So if you want to fold it in half, then please do and cut off your bits. Sounds
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Hazardous.
Not going to lie. Hazardous, uncomfortable, all of the above. But that is what we're going to do. So if you've lined everything up, do line everything up. If you need to stick a pin in or anything, then do. This is where, you see, this is why I don't really like cutting through 2 locks. Or I'll get my 60mm rotary cutter out. That's always a good one.
Yes.
That works.
Get
that
the big
works
guns
really,
out.
really well. See, this is why we have all the gadgets for all the stuff, isn't it? So cutting these so they're the corners. I just wanted you to be able to see. Where is my big one? Where is my big rotary cutter? Do you know what? I think it's been stolen to the cutting mat, you know. Possibly by myself when I was cutting through lots of layers of fabric. But that's not the point. Those corners, in there.
Lovely. Lo's joined us, bless
Oh,
her.
Lo, how are you
She
feeling,
said
love?
week 3 of COVID,
Oof.
just the headaches, brain fog and exhaustion left. Bless you, my sweet. You've gone a rough ride with this one.
And then just stitch down from here. So where that slope finishes, there down to the bottom. That's all you're going to sew. She really has had a horrible time of it. Bless you. Especially, and that must really great, given that some people don't even know they've had it. And then some people get it so badly. It's such a weird thing, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
You couldn't write it, could you?
No.
I'm going to create A disease that some people won't know they've had. So they can be really sneaky and pass it on to other people. I'm not going to give any of the same symptoms all the way round.
Yeah. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we're going to create a vaccine that doesn't stop you from getting it. The whole thing is just when you think about it, it's just the whole thing is weird.
I know. I'm extremely clinically vulnerable.
You are very vulnerable.
I had a text the other day saying, "Would you like to come have another vaccine?"
You're
Another
like,
one. I've lost count of how many I've had now.
Plus, having also had it.
Yeah,
so
I had it not long ago, and I thought to myself, well, unless this one's been tweaked to do another different strain, I'm not sure that I need another one at the moment.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't know. If they said because yours will wear off soon, or because this new one's been tweaked for a new variant.
Like, you just don't know.
But otherwise, it's like, why? Why?
But then they say, well, because it might be worse if you don't have it. But you can't prove that either.
No,
you don't know, do you?
I
don't understand. Do you know what I do understand though? Is that this is going to look gorgeous.
Oh,
right.
it really
if
is.
you want to box the bottom so that you've got a little bit more inside,
nice
roominess inside, then do that now. And again, in the instructions, you're just going to cut your little square, fold it to one side, and stitch down it. Do the same with your lining. But we are just going to trim the excess bulk from there, if I can find my little scissors. No, the whole thing just perplexes me completely. I don't know what's right or wrong anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I'm scratching my head a little bit with that one.
Me too. Do you know what is very right though, Gemma?
What you got? What you got? Oh, is this a ta-da moment? Are we turning through?
I'm having a moment.
Oh, look.
Because
Wowzers trousers, that's a good looking one, isn't it, eh?
It is a good looking one.
Yes.
Do you know the thing is, Jem, right? I imagine all these things in my head. And then when I actually get to make them, because I can't make in all the colourways that I love, because there's not all the time in all the world. But just look at that. I do love it. I really do love that. And so you've got a little bit of give there with your pockets so that you can put larger items such as that in there, and it's going to sit in there. You've also got your pocket for a ruler, and that stays in there because it's so snug, and that's absolutely fine. And then whatever else you want to pop in there, little bottle of flatter, in it goes. Whatever it is that you're doing. So it is really handy. Hang on, where's my mat? And then that is going to sit really snug in there. Now I've done this so that you can just see the little edges, so it's pretty. But if you have boxed the corners, it does, just bear in mind, it does just push it up to the top there. But it's still fully encased, and I was really careful when I designed this to make sure of that. It's these little things, Jem. Just these little things. There we go.
Some thought gone in there, eh?
I mean, occasionally I try.
You do.
And that was the other thing, because like you could make this with H640, but remember, if you are doing this for your cutting mat, this is giving it not only protection, and also if you're putting your ruler in here,
it's got more form, hasn't it?
It has. Now the other thing to bear in mind that you could do if you want is to put a strip of pocket on the inside so that your ruler goes on the inside, if you want to. Now this just drops in. Wrong sides to wrong sides, in it goes. And here it is. Now, handles, Gemma. Here they are, looking good. I think we can all safely say. Looking lovely. So there's my lining. And pop your handle in. I would pop it just a little bit away from the edge, only because when you come to bind, you want to just have enough space to turn. Now, handle, fold it under the same way, and then just, you're going to baste these in place, okay? So that we don't have pins all over the shop. Gemma can't stand pins everywhere.
No.
They drive me mad. So I'm matching up where the angle is there, and then just coming in, not even half an inch. You can measure it beautifully. Look at that. How much fun is that lining though as well? Let's be honest.
Fabulous.
Gorgeous.
And this is the thing, I think there's a temptation to go plain on a lining, and we
What?
don't judge. We don't judge, but what a difference that makes.
It's just that little bit of fun, and because as soon as you know, you're going to see it. Like if you want to put poppers or anything else on this, then you can. But I didn't include it in the pattern because your mat's going to be in there. So you're not actually, and just look, just line those handles up so that you know that they're on the same place and the same what have you. There we go. Just make sure that your lining all lines up. Yes, we're all happy with that. That's there, that's there. Now these will then flip up like so. Let's just baste them in place. The more that we can sew these handles down, the more you can overfill it, Gemma. Heaven forbid.
I think not, thank you very much.
Is that you or me?
It was my laptop.
Your laptop ringing?
My laptop saying, your phone's ringing.
Oh.
No, laptop, no. No.
So by basting these in place, you're kind of basting your lining in place as well.
I think that was one of our suppliers. Do they not know? Do they not know it's a Monday morning, therefore we will be, you know, busy.
Otherwise engaged.
I don't know.
It's like when our suppliers ring. Because I'd never do the do you know who we are?
No, I'm pretty confident that was one of our suppliers. Oh, and there they go again. Let's cut them off again, shall we?
No.
Oh, dearie me.
I'll just never forget John Scott, God love him. So, when someone said to him, do I know you from somewhere? And he was like, you know, fair play, he's been on TV for many, many years.
Yes.
Well, might be from the TV. No. He also volunteers at his local popping shop.
His local what?
At his little local sort of pop-in local shop in his village, and that was where she's like, no, that's not it.
No, not off that there telly.
No, don't know you from there. Oh, awkward. But it just made me giggle because you know that you just know. That would be exactly what would happen to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the lady. I mean, my kids automatically the other day went, this is so you, it's the most you thing we've ever seen. Did you see the poor lady, bless her, who went and did the mum's race at Sports Day?
No.
And she went flat on her face in front of everybody, wearing a dress, and the dress flipped right forward, and her bottom was on view for everybody who was watching. And someone recorded the race, of course, as well, because people do. Yeah. She was on telly the other morning. She made it onto breakfast TV, God love her, because everyone said, are you mortified? And all of this, and she just went, I think it's hilarious. And my kids just went, that would totally happen to you. That's exactly how you would react as well.
You being the person that put the ass in
ascot,
when your rather tight-fitting bodycon dress split in a rather unfortunate place, and you didn't realise, and no one told you, and you were a little bit too drunk to realise.
Walking around Ascot for 40 minutes with my full.
So basically, what you're saying is you've already done that.
Yeah. But fortunately, no one recorded it and chucked it on that there telly. But for this poor lady, bless her, that's exactly what happened. Apparently, because she's single mom, apparently she's had lots and lots and lots of people contact her since.
Bet she has.
You seem like great fun. Can I take you on a date? So I'm hoping she meets the love of her life through this, because that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Really great, because she is an absolute sport. I mean, what a laugh.
Sports Day hero.
Sports Day hero.
Yeah. Now, I am snack pockets. Yes, Elizabeth, snack pockets. Exactly that. You could fit a little bar of chocolate in there, couldn't you? By little, I mean like, you know, the big ones, like that. I don't know why I didn't think of it. There'd slot in there as well. You know, the big family size one.
Big
that clearly
of Minstrels or Maltesers or
absolutely.
M&Ms. I mean, that's what the little little drawer thing on your sewing machines for, isn't it? M&Ms.
Now, we did that there binding where you just fold it in half and put it over there like that. Yes, yes, yes. On this one, I'm going to show you another way. Okay. Whether you do it that way or this way, just leave a little bit at the end so that you can overlap on basically on this end. When you get all the way round, you will just fold under by 1/4 of an inch, and then when you get round, just encase your raw edges there like so, so that you don't have any raw edges showing. But we'll get there in a minute. So you can, if you want to, do that kind of binding where you just fold it in half like that and then encase like so and stitch all the way around. You can absolutely do that. This way it's folded in half and all of your raw edges are there. Now, when you get to them there corners, I would just pop in a little pin, because you're going to, whoop, helps if you pin through the lining as well, not your finger. There we go. You are just going to go off at a slightly different angle. All right, so if you just want to pin that, and then, and it doesn't matter when you flip it, if you're going to hand stitch it, you can then pop a little tuck in it the other side. Just keeps it neat. Gemma's got a little grin on her face. Why are you grinning, Gemma?
Oh, I'm just smiling to myself because Ali over on YouTube, bless her, she says, "Be still, my beating heart, my Tilda quilt has just arrived."
Oh, I'm glad they're starting to home.
Yes.
I've started, by the way, on like a seamy side.
Nice. Can I just quickly say, actually, there were several of you who put yourselves on a waiting list. We did contact our Tilda supplier. We did source the very last of some of the colours.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
To make up a kit for those of you who were on that list. You have all had now, if you were on that list, if we have a kit available for you, you will have had by email a notification that we have one and an invoice. So, and where many of you have spotted that email, have done a little happy dance, have checked out, and then yours will be getting cut and packaged and sent out to you this week. But those few of you that have perhaps not noticed that email, go and have a little delve around. If we were able to make a kit for you, you've got an email with an invoice attached.
Now, we can't hold those because so many people wanted them, and it was such an investment in fabric.
Correct.
I mean, I did have a little moment when I pressed go, buying all the fabric in all the world, like, oh, I really hope people are going to buy this, because if not,
I've got a really big bill to pay.
I've got a really big bill to pay. Yeah. But bless you, you have all risen to the occasion. That's going to fall off the end of the desk in a minute. So thank you for supporting us in that. Oh, phew. Because this is, I think people think we're quite a big business, and we're really not.
No, there's literally a handful of us.
Yeah.
In a lovely big building, but just a handful of us.
Making it happen.
Grafting away here.
Crafting away.
Grafting and crafting.
Now. Dee. Coming down, coming down, coming down. Do you know what? Out of this entire bag, Gemma, this is the fiddliest bit, is putting the binding on. If you want to just turn it through and not bind it, then do that as well. Oop. Only because there are just a few little changes in direction. And if you've pinned it carefully, you'll be fine. Obviously, I have not. So, but pinning and getting that same distance, you know, that same sort of seam allowance is what's going to give you that nice even binding around here. I've tucked under. There we go, that's why it's tricky. There we are. But yeah, the secret is just to pin everything in place. So do as I say, not as I do moment there, Jem.
I think that's fair.
Ba, ba, ba. And I'm just realigning, making sure all my raw edges are together as we go. All this just so that I didn't have to remember a turning through gap, Jem.
I know. Do you know
the extremes we go to.
Do you know who we've got with us? Admiring the brassicas.
Who have we got admiring the brassicas?
The very lovely Philip Jacobs.
Hey, we love your brassicas, Philip.
Really love your brassicas. Just wait a moment to see this finished bag, because they are the hero of the piece, I feel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They were my starting point.
Yes.
Because we had a little bit of the brassica. Is it in red? I never kind of know what colour they call it. I'm not good at that bit. And I couldn't, it's just like, this has been on the shelf and needs a project and a little home. And so as such, this bag was born. Now, here we go. Just at the end, turn that. And if you need to, then do just make your life easy. And here we go. So that's going to come up and come around to there. So all I'm going to say is just fold that under so that you don't have a raw edge. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Oop, here. That's all I'm doing, is folding that under. And then, just give a quick finger press. As that going to kind of come around there, let me just do it and then I'll show you. That's going to encase that, should you wish. If you don't want to, then just fold it, fold it, fold it. But I would really encase, I would absolutely, I would politely insist that you encase. Especially because you're going to flip it, and then each side is encased when you flip it round as well.
Very smart.
We are going to finish off stitching that. Woohoo!
It would seem the lovely lady at Sports Day and myself do not have the monopoly on being embarrassing mothers. Sue Langford said she went swimming with the year 3s and couldn't help herself. She helped a child who was very nervous and her body flotation device had come undone. She bent down to help grab her and overbalanced and fell into the pool fully clothed.
Yay!
I had to go back to school on the coach, soaked through. My daughter marched out of her year 4 classroom with a "Could you be any more embarrassing if you tried, Mum?"
Amazing.
I do think that's part of the aim of being a parent, though, is to embarrass your children.
Do you know what? I did see somewhere that embarrassing parents, what is it? Build character.
Yeah.
I like to think that my kids will be full of character.
Apparently I've taken this to a whole new level, but Meg will admit she thinks it's great.
See?
Some things at the time, no, but when she looks back, she says, you know...
You did all right there, Mum. So you can now fold this binding over the top. You can stitch it, hand stitch it down if you wish.
Oh, yes.
If you don't want to hand stitch, and by the way, at these corners, all it's going to mean is just almost like, it's not even a full mitre, just a little fold in there which you're not going to notice,
A little tap.
and around you go. But you can just hand stitch that down. If you don't want to hand stitch it, then get your sewing machine and just sew it around again. You can sew in the ditch, but again, pin, 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 pin. And this is probably the neater way of doing the binding, because then your handle absolutely goes up like that. Whereas in the other one, you do have a little bit of spare binding there if you haven't stitched right to the end. So this is, if you're going for neat, this is absolutely it.
Lovely.
If you're going for speed, the other way works.
And it's nice to have options, isn't it?
So you know, the other
Because
way
we know a
works
few
too.
of you are a bit averse to some hand stitching as well.
Well, do you know, that's just it, isn't it? So
We've
I'm
all
going to
got
have to
a
unpick that.
preferred
I didn't quite catch that in there, so I will just go back and catch that in. But yeah, that's going to be your side round there. It's
See,
going to
I
be
love a little
lovely,
hand
isn't it?
stitch, you know I do.
Yeah.
Sit down in front of the telly, a little bit of hand stitching. You get
But
to
it
rest
just
and feel like you've
means-
achieved something.
That will go. And because we didn't box the bottom on this, that fits in all the way there. That will be your binding on there.
Nice.
And then, like I say, you can pop your ruler in, your rotary cutter in.
You could have a little flat folio, couldn't you? Or a clipboard to have your pattern on.
Yeah.
That could sit in there too.
And away you
That would
go.
sit nicely against your mats. Brilliant.
Off you go. Enjoy.
Love that.
So that is today's make. We have got it in various colours. Maybe you already have an A2 size cutting mat, in which case we've got these kits available. If you want to get like that one up there and get a grey cutting mat, just let us know and we will source those, but we'll buy them specifically for you. Yeah, there we go. That's today's make. Tomorrow we are doing, I meant to get the instructions so that I could waft it around.
Oh,
We're doing a Lisa Chandler bag.
We are, with a really fabulous technique in it.
Some beautiful tucks and things which are
Absolutely.
gorgeous. And I'm going to go and source all the different fabrics because again, contrast is going to be fabulous for those.
Definitely.
So we're going to have a little bit of fun with that tomorrow. So do join us on tomorrow's show. I think today has been functional.
Yes, but
Function and
fabulously functional. Yeah. Because of that fabric.
gorgeous.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Gorgeous. So there we go. Thank you for all of your fun and for taking part. And we will see you here tomorrow at 10 o'clock as per usual. Gemma, any other notes before we leave?
Yeah, just very quickly, we've got someone on YouTube asking, where do I find the kit that is on the show today, please? Jennifer, you go to natashamakes.com and click the Watch Live page or the Make It Monday page and you'll see every product that we've had on today's show
Put
listed
select
there.
or click on that and
Yes.
it brings up all the products.
Grab your kit, grab your instructions. At the moment they're there in printed format. They will be available in digital very shortly. So
Hooray.
yeah, don't forget to get your instructions. We keep those separate.
Perfect.
All right.
Alrighty. We will see you here tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.